Welcome to Simply Projects. What do we got here? This box I can't even fit in the viewport of my camera. It's that big. I got super big hands. Look at how big this box is. Once again, this is one of our project series with RC cars, and here we have faster, tougher, and if you can see that it says Vortex. Not quite sure what Vortex is, but we are the ARRMA brand, if I'm saying that right. Designed fast, designed tough. I will tell you, we have one of these already, and it's definitely designed tough. Recently, we just smashed it into a concrete wall, and one of the drive sticks that's on the front suspension actually came out of the car, and we just used a wrench that came with it, put it back in. Everything's working just fine. And you know, this was a high-speed smash. So, okay, I didn't realize we're going to be doing a box of a box. So it's a branded box, and it's branded again. Yes. Look at this thing. Is this true? We're going to find out. Okay, what do we have here? We have the ARRMA Vorteks 4x4 3S. Now, we did a review on the battery charger and the batteries that go into this, which are 5,000 amp hour batteries. And it's built by the Spectrum brand, and Spectrum brand, there it is. They've been fantastic already so far with those. So what do we got here? We have 1/10 scale. That's good to know. This is much bigger than the one that we do have. Fits both 2S and 3S batteries. All new dynamic stability control. Feel like a driving hero. I don't know what that means, but cool. Metal gear center differential for ultimate durability. Okay. Clipless body retention. 0 clips, 0 hassle. Okay, I'm guessing that means this piece right here. 4-wheel drive drivetrain, dominate by terrain. Keep dirt out. High side guards built into the chassis for maximum protection from dirt. So that's cool, because what you want to do with these things is you want to run them hard, and you want to run them in the mud, in the water, wherever you can. I'm going to try and slip this thing out here. It's there's a suction to the box right now, but it's also very heavy. Let me turn it on its side. All right, what do we have here? Okay, so we have the whole box itself. There's a lot going on here, and I like it already. We have some of the things it was mentioning up here. Secure link, I guess that's for the remote. What else we got here? The battery types, 4x4 ready to run. This thing looks super cool. Here we go. Okay, so there's hidden clips, body retention, 0 clips, no hassle. So I'm guessing it's showing a model of another type of vehicle that has body clips. I'm not quite sure here what they're trying to say, but we're going to look at it pretty soon. And this is probably what it's talking about. Now, let's see. Counter steer applied to control over rotation. Spectrum active mode, high sensing oversteering, applying correction. That's going to be interesting to see what that does. It senses the rate of change to the yaw angle and applies steering correction. DSC has 4 selectable modes. Off is 0 correction. Low, perfect for high grip surfaces. Medium, ideal for lower grip surfaces. And high, great for beginners, maximum safety. Okay, well, we're going to find out what that means. Okay, we got some stuff on the side here. I can't even raise it to show you, but we have a Spectrum 3660 3100 kV brushless motor with ARRMA heatsink and cooling fan. I know on our other model that we have, it certainly gets hot. We've got a lot of different things going on here. We have the Spectrum metal geared waterproof digital servo, 80 amp 2-in-1 waterproof ESC and a receiver, and then of course remote control. So nothing on the back. We've got a few things up front you might be able to see here if the camera's focusing correctly. Super tough drivetrain. So here's our drivetrain it was talking about. It has a wheelie bar, and let's see what color we got here. All right, so we'll go ahead and flip it on its side. We'll just open up Yep, we got a couple here. I'm gonna get these real fast. All right, flip it back over, and let's see what's inside. Ooh, this is much bigger than the last model that we have. The last model we have is about this big. I didn't realize this was so big. I knew it was slightly bigger, but this is absolutely huge. I can already feel, wow, that liquid suspension, the liquid shocks they have. This puppy is heavy. Let's get these things out here. Let's see. I'm just gonna move this box over because we don't have a lot of room here today. Now, let's see. Before we open this up, let's go ahead and check this out. I can already tell it's super lightweight. It's the controller. And I wonder if it's any different than the last one that we had. This looks, I want to say this looks a little bit bigger than the last one we have, but maybe not. It's definitely got a different color. Power button here, steering, throttle, I believe, and then how fast you want to go. Yeah, it looks a little bit different. I think this padding is bigger or something. A and B, I wonder what that does. So it feels good. You know, these are, it's heavy duty plastic. I mean, it can take a few drops if you had to do it, but you know, everything feels good and tight on it. So happy to have the controllers that they're usually putting in these. They just don't feel massively cheap. They feel, you know, as best as you can get with something like this where, you know, they're trying to go for maximum profit, maximum margin, but without skipping, you know, because they have a brand to sell here. So, you know, this is good stuff. Good controller. I can already see right now the last one that we had a tool set as well, but not these drivers. So we've got some hex drivers in here, red and blue for different sizes. Cool. And we got a big old metal part in here. I'm not quite sure. I've seen these spacers before when we were trying to repair the last one, and I know these clips have to do with the suspension. But also, this looks like some form of tool that's going to be helpful in taking apart maybe the wheels. You can see this hex head right here is going to go in the wheelbase. So we've got some pins in here, which I'm sure we'll have to figure out what those do. And some really tiny, I think they're set screws. So what are they setting? Who knows? But there's the Allen wrench that comes with it. What do we got? We got some batteries for the remote control. Once that's going in there, we've got our Vortex ID card, which is pretty cool. And we have the instruction manual, which, let's see, looks like we got two here. This might be a parts breakdown. Yes, it is. So this is what I love about this brand is everything's replaceable. Not that you can find every piece online, but most of them you will. And you know, you break it up, you got the parts breakdown, you get the parts, and that's what keeps these things running forever. So you know you're gonna break them just like we did. We slammed into a concrete wall at an angle, mind you, and it really did tear up an axle. Okay, so I'm looking here. I got this plastic wrap on top. Just gonna remove that here. Now, I can tell you right now, this thing, it's huge. Look at the size of these wheels. They've got a little bit of sponginess in them. You can feel some air. Just flipping it over right here. This is that access where you can get to a lot of different things that are inside of here and here anyways. And then we do have the wheelie bar on the back already. And then check out that throw. Oh, goodness. This is interesting, man. Look at the size of this thing here. These things are huge. Look at that axle in there. Can you see that? This is so much bigger than the last one. And I don't know why this is exposed, but maybe to look at the gears. It's like a fast look to see if your gears are getting chewed up. But there's the drive. At least one of them right there. Okay, let's see if we can get this cover off. Let's see if we can figure this thing out. It was pointing to, oh, that's got to be what it is. Check this out. There's a button here. Does this one push down? Yeah, it pushes down there. Oh, so I'm going to push like this. That one came up. How does this one come up? Ah, okay. So when you push down on this thing, let's see, is that a little bit? Maybe it's loose, maybe not. So you push down here. Oh, and it releases the metal here. So same thing here. Oh, so that's cool. This is what I was talking about. Look at this. I know what this is because the last model we had, we were rolling this puppy and it was going as fast on its wheels as it was upside down, skidding on top of its hood on the small little Typhoon or whatever brand, whatever version we have. And this is what that's for. So you're going to grind across this thing because I can guarantee you, as we're using this, it's going to find its way like this somehow. Now, looking at this, mind you, I just remembered the battery did not come with this, and neither did the charger. So just knowing that when you're going in here, this is cool the way they have this, where it's part of the belt system here. So as you're tightening down, let's see, how does that work exactly? It goes like this. Let's see. It kind of goes like that. Yep, okay. So as you're tightening down the battery, which looks like a triangle, but it's not, it's a rectangle, this thing's going to squish onto it and you're going to hold this real nice inside. So that's cool. I can see some interesting layout down here. Definitely some structural strength they got going on down there. Some honeycomb looking things. And then it looks like, I don't know why you'd put the wires. The wires aren't going to go in there. And this feels sharp. So that's interesting. But look at this right here in the middle. This is what is making, that's so cool. So here's the drivetrain, and it's going into at least a gear set here and another probably differential up there. Let's see, look at that. You see that? Definitely rotating the differential. Same thing here. And what's really cool, I can see right now, you can see this on the camera, is it has, looks like an aluminum plate right here that has some red coloring, and it says, "Don't just bash, blast." So that's cool, little cool touch points in here. Now this, it's just so much more massive than the one that we had purchased before. This is probably 3 times the size of the car that we have. And so everything is a lot bigger. On the one that we have, there is a fan, but it's in the middle here, blowing on the motor. The ESC doesn't have a fan, but this one does. So here's that dual ESC they're talking about. So the electronic control module for the motor, and then we can see this is the steering. What do they call this here? Whatever this is, the part that makes it steer back and forth, and you can see the little arms right down there to make it steer. Look at that. Oh, this is just so beefy. Now this motor is massive. It has a bunch of heat sinks all over it. It's got this fan going on it, and just look at these. Look at the wiring here. These things are huge. You know, the amount of power that's going in to drive this. This is one of those things where, you know, and I'm glad they said they had a beginner module, because it's one of those expert level hobby RC vehicles, which I've never played with. So it's going to be super interesting to move this around, especially for the other people in my family that are going to be using this as well. So everyone's going to be excited about it, and we're going to take our time learning how to do it. And just to go up here, if you can see some of these steering linkage in here, it's super, super beefy. We have the axle down here. We've got 2 different tie rods on here. So I'm not sure. One of them's for the steering. So that would be, I guess, the tie rod. I don't know. This is just for another set of suspension. So I did notice on the one that we have, it has 2 of these pieces, one on the top and one on the bottom. On this one, it doesn't have one on the top. It has like another tie rod in there. to just kind of keep the wheel. I don't know if that's a new way of doing it or that's just how they do it with these much larger vehicles. And this axle is just, it's just humongous. The torque that must be going through this puppy when it's going. Now, I do see as well, this thing says pull. It says pull right here. I don't want to pull, because I'm not sure, what does that even do? And I certainly don't want to break anything. It doesn't look like it hinges here. So maybe it's when you're taking things apart and then you pull here to pull it out. I'm not going to do anything with that right now. It looks like something goes in here as well. Like there's a screw hole for something to go into this piece. And I can see it again down here. So I'm wondering, is there some form of suspension bar that goes across here as well to keep it like an upgrade? I'm curious as to what that thing does. We can see we have some high walls. This is what it was talking about here for getting it wet. There's some vents, but they're way up here. So, I mean, you're definitely not going to go through a massive body of water, but you can go through puddles. And let's see, we got something back here as well. If you can see that on the camera, it looks like a bumper, and it looks like it's tied to this, which is kind of interesting. Like it's a little spring, but it looks like a spacer more than yeah, it is. There's a little bit of bouncy right there. You can compress it, so it's something to save the vehicle if you back into a wall when you don't have the wheelie bar on, because right now the wheelie bar is going to hit whatever instead of this. And let's check the front out. The front out does have that as well, so you can see there's some good sponge. Yep. And you know, we can run into a concrete wall a couple times. Hopefully not too many times. So this is just insane. I'm super excited to take this thing out. We got the ARRMA brand right here on the heatsink. The fan on here, I don't see much else. And we have the on button. The one that we had already, the Typhon, it does have a power on button, but I don't think this looks like it's waterproof. So that's cool. On the other one, it looked like it was exposed a little bit, but very interesting. I can also see right here some places for something to add on to, like maybe something clips onto here and then you can do something different. Very interesting to find out if that's true. I've never upgraded one of these. This is the first, at least 3S version, 3S battery version that we have, and I'll let you know how it goes. I can also see the antenna right here, if you can see it. So that's cool. Just kind of sticking up like a walkie-talkie antenna. Again, we have the battery that we'll put right here, and it's a very big battery to power this monster. And then let's see how easy this is to clip back on here. So we go back on. You know, how do you line it up? That's a question. Well, that kind of went on good. Pops down. Nice and tight. Okay. Look at this. What kind of wheelie thing is this what's this gonna be doing? So at the end of this video, we're definitely gonna drive this. So stay tuned and we'll watch this puppy go over some ramps that we'll probably build using the cardboard box that it's shipped with. So looking awesome. Can't wait to see you out there. Thanks for joining us. See you in the next video. And as you can clearly see, we demolished this vehicle in about 40 minutes of ownership. So once we got it out there, we quickly moved to the fastest speed on here just because it was incredibly amazing. And one of the team members just slammed it into the concrete curb. And I'm showing here how the front of the chassis just almost ripped apart. And so lots of plastic broke, and all we had to really do was buy a new bottom plate, which was about 20 bucks. And to disassemble it though, we had to take apart, you know, everything that was on that bottom chassis, and that's everything. But it wasn't difficult. You just had to keep track of where everything went, and we made a cardboard cutout of the vehicle chassis, and then we put each screw in each place so that we could keep account for it. And it took a good maybe careful, slow, methodical, 2 hours to do this and to get it done right. And you get to learn the vehicle substantially when you take it apart like this. So most of everything comes out in units, like the back transmission, the back, let's say where the back wheels are and the front wheels, a lot of it, comes out in large chunks. But then there's the wheelie bar and a couple of the other things that are on the chassis that have to come out, and lots of tiny little screws. So we made a cutout on the cardboard that looked just like the chassis, and then we just kept, piece by piece went through it. So I gotta say, if you're gonna get this for a younger child, make sure they don't use the fast mode. There's 3 different modes. I would keep with the slowest mode, which isn't slow at all. This thing, it's not like normal RCs. You won't get bogged down in grass and dirt. It will chew through anything you give it, especially asphalt. It will just rip across it and tear. I mean, the wheels, it was leaving rubber track marks in the asphalt. This thing had so much power in it. And that's probably the 3-phase, brushless motor that's on this puppy. So if you end up getting one of these or one of the mods that's this scale size, I don't know all the lingo for this, but smoking fast and very fun and dangerous. If you go over the full speed and you end up hitting someone's ankle or something, it's gonna break something. So just keep that in mind. Have fun if you're gonna get one of these. I know we're gonna have continued fun, and just in learning how to take care of one of these and fix it, that was cool enough too. Even though we didn't think we'd be out of racing within about 40 minutes of owning it. But whatever, that's the price of fun sometimes. So I will catch you in the next video.